Hi everyone, and welcome to Make It with Miss Mandee. Today we are going to be creating my Christmas Village Town Hall. This is a design I shared as part of my ever-expanding Christmas Village set, and today I'm excited to show you how to put it together. So grab your template over at designsbymissmandee.com if you haven't already, gather up your supplies, and let's get started. The supplies you'll need for this project are cardstock, about 11 sheets in various colors, vellum, hot glue, precision craft glue or glue stick, a cutting machine or X-Acto knife, and my template, which can be found at designsbymissmandee.com. Other optional but helpful supplies include foam tape and a bone folder. If you need help figuring out how to set up the file that includes score lines, be sure to check out the tutorial I made on the subject. So I have all of my pieces cut out and we're ready to get started. The first thing we're going to focus on is assembling our windows. So go through and try to find any piece that has some holes in it like this. These are going to be the windows, and then your vellum pieces are going to be what lines the inside, and these sorts of pieces are what are going to go on the outside. So with these pieces gathered, we're going to find the corresponding vellum pieces, and like I said, use them to line the inside of the window holes, and then find the corresponding window frames and add them to the outside, like that. To do this, I'm going to be using some precision craft glue from Barely Arts. I get a lot of questions about this glue. I've only been using it for probably less than a year, but it is amazing. It's super great for like fine little pieces like this. And the best part is it doesn't warp the paper or anything like a lot of other tacky glues do. Okay, so let's get going. A couple things I wanted to point out real quick just before we move on is that this is actually not a window piece. This is going to be the top front roof section where the clock tower is going to poke through later. So that's why there's a hole there. So if you're wondering why you couldn't find a matching window piece for this, is because this is not a window. Another thing is that these look similar to the window panes, but these are actually decorative elements that we're just going to use later on. So when you didn't find a place to put these, that's because there isn't really one right now. So you can just set those aside. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is attach some of these black decorative pieces. We've got 3 little frames, one triangular one that goes up here, 2 rectangular ones that are going to go on this piece and this one, like that. And then these 2 little rectangles are going to be the front doors of the town hall. And if you look at this piece, there's some flaps right here where the front doors are, and these are just going to go right over top. With these pieces ready to go, the next things we're going to focus on are layering our banisters. And I'm also going to put together my clock, which is just going to be these 2 circles. And I'm going to draw the clock face numbers and everything on here. So the banisters are just these pieces, and then there's these little red pieces that are going to be layered behind them. So you can see where the score marks are, the different sections So this like middle-sized one is gonna go on this side. These small ones are gonna go on this side. And then the long ones are going to go in the middle section, like that. All right, so this next bit is a little bit complicated, but we're gonna get through it. I believe in you. Okay, so this is going to be the top part of our town hall. I'll show you. It's gonna be like our top roof part and our clock tower, basically. So it's comprised of these two blue pieces, this white piece with some lines in it and a bunch of score lines, the clock face, and these four little white pieces also that are gonna just be kind of decorative at the end. So to start with, we're gonna take this piece and this piece and we're just gonna fold along the score lines. All right, so now that we have these two pieces folded, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just gonna attach this little tab right here to the inside of this edge to make this into like kind of a little box shape. And then I'm gonna take these tabs and slip them into these slits right here. I'm gonna widen these a little bit. Yeah, and then just attach them together with hot glue. With these connected, I can start attaching this together. There's all these little tabs inside, and these ones are just gonna attach to the sidewalls next to them, like that. And then these tabs that are going along this edge are gonna curve along the edge of the piece next to it, just like this. So it's just kind of a slight curve. And anyway, that's about how it's going to look. All right, with these pieces connected, the next thing we're going to focus on is this piece right here. First, I'm going to fold along the score lines, and it's going to form a box eventually, but you don't want to connect the whole thing together yet. So just for now, just fold along the score lines. Now we're going to use the slits in the bottom of this piece to connect it to the top of our clock tower. With those in place, we are now going to finish assembling this little white box by using all these little tabs to attach all of the sides together and fold it inward, just like a pizza box, like that. Now the structural elements of this clock tower are done, and we just need to add the final decorative elements, which are the clock face itself, which goes right here, and then these little white pieces, which are going to go just around the edges of this section, like this. One thing I do want to mention just before you put your clock face on, just be aware that there is going to be like a little peaked roof right here coming up in front of the clock tower. So just make sure not to attach this too low, otherwise it's going to get covered up. So make sure to attach it a little bit higher on the clock tower, not just like on the middle. Otherwise it won't work very well. Sorry. With our clock tower done, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is working on our roof. So you're gonna take these two blue pieces that have roof elements on them, and you're gonna match them up with their corresponding black pieces. So you can kind of see where these are going to go. This one will go here, this little piece is going to go here, and so on and so forth. Just kind of match these up like a puzzle and glue them on. Now that these are all attached, we're ready to start folding these up and making our town hall take shape. So I've got all those folds in, and now we're gonna start putting these two pieces together. You can probably kind of start to see how this is gonna take shape. You're gonna attach like this tab to the inside of this roof piece, and then this one is going to wrap around and form the left side of the building, and then the top of the roof. This tiny little flat section on the top of the roof. I'm not doing a very good job holding it together, but there you go. There's a very rough way of looking at it, of how it's going to take shape. All right, let's start assembling this. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Hopefully this image gives you a better idea of how this is supposed to come together. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to attach our clock tower to this, and it just slips right inside this little hole. And then the tabs, which are now folded inward, I'm going to refold them outward and then glue them to the inside, which is going to be quite precarious, but I'm going to make it happen. Glue them to the inside of my roof. Our clock tower is officially attached to our roof, and now we're going to turn our attention to these two pieces as well as these little banister pieces. So these ones just have a few folds that you're going to put in them. These are going to be the front walls, and these are going to be the side walls. So they're going to attach like this, except these pieces are going to fold inward and create a little balcony for your town hall. Okay, I thought I could just kind of show that really quickly, but I did need to kind of put all the folds in this first. But this is basically how this piece is going to come together before you can attach it to the rest of your town hall like this. But even before you attach it, you're going to want to attach the little banister piece to the top. And for this piece, it's just going to wrap around with the smallest section in the back, the longest section coming around the side, and the middle length section coming around the front. And they're hard to see, almost impossible to see, but there are little slits in this piece where the tabs should line up. Just realized that this tab was a little bit too long, so I just trimmed it down. Sorry about that. All right, this side is done, and I'm just gonna repeat the same process with this one. With both of these formed, we're ready to attach them to the rest of our structure. All right, those sides are finally attached. If you struggled to put those on, you're not alone. It is a little bit clunky and I apologize. Just keep working at it, keep gluing and gluing, and eventually you'll get there. So we're gonna set that aside for now, and the next thing we're going to work on is our columns. So we have these 4 pieces here, and then we have a bunch of these little pieces that are gonna go with them. So the first thing we're going to do is to take these pieces and then get like a pen or something round that you can kind of wrap them around. Once your paper has a good curl to it, then you can take the side that's tapered and glue it to the inside like that. We're also going to take these pieces. Before I do that, I'm going to take these pieces and fold them inward. These are the little tabs that we're going to use to attach it later on. One column down, 3 more to go. So all of my little columns are done, and now we're going to work on the little pedestals. Each column's going to get one for like the top and one for the bottom, so that's why there are more of these. For these, you're basically just going to be making an open-sided box. So just follow the score lines and fold. It's always what I say, just repeat it over and over again. Fold along the score lines. Once you've folded along the score lines, hopefully you can kind of see how it's going to take shape. You're just going to wrap, you're going to fold this part inward and then wrap all of these around it like this. So it'll be hollow on one side. One down, 7 more to go. These little boxes are complete, and the next thing we're going to do is grab this piece as well as these 2 little black pieces and these little decorative pieces that are going to go on them. First things first, we're going to take these, the little frame piece and the little blue square or rectangle, and layer them together. Next, you're going to take these decorative elements and attach them to your black pieces. These ones are going to go horizontally and are just going to fit right in this center square or rectangle. I keep calling it a square, but it's a rectangle, this rectangular area. And then These ones are going to sit vertically, and one of them will go on the left side, and the other one will go on the right side. The reason you're not putting one here is just because eventually the stairs are going to connect over here, and so you wouldn't see it if you did put one there. Anyway, so yeah, just put one on the left side, one on the right side, and then one in each of the center areas. With these attached, the next thing we're going to do is, you guessed it, fold along the score lines. And now we're just going to use these little tabs, this one and this one, to attach it like so. There you go. Now just repeat the same thing with this one. Now that these are both built, we're going to start attaching these little boxes. There's these little slits in the top of these pieces, but if you don't want to use them, you could always just fold these in and glue them to the top. They're mostly there for alignment purposes, but they are a tiny bit finicky, so it's up to you on how you want to use them or not use them. If you do though, they'll slip in like that, and then you'll just attach the tabs to the other side. That's what they look like attached. Now I'm just going to repeat the same thing with this one. Here they are. Okay, next we need to start attaching the rest of these here. So if you can see, there are some slits here and here that we're going to be attaching these to. There are also some other slits in here. Just try to forget about those for now. Just focus on the little ones up top. These ones. But first, fold along the score lines. All right, those are folded up. Let's start attaching. These are now attached, and I'm just going to fold up the sides to create the roof. All right, now we're going to take our last big blue structural piece and we're going to start attaching these things to it. This is essentially going to go on top. These two sides are going to fold inward, and these two pieces are going to attach here at the bottom. But before I start attaching those, I'm just going to add these little decorative elements. My decorative elements are attached. Now, time to attach these guys. All right, now we're going to attach these two pieces, and because I already attached this section together, it might be hard for me to get in there with my glue, but we're going to give it a go. And if you don't want to, then you can just fold these tabs inward, put the glue on the outside, and just attach them. There are also some slits right here for these tabs on the side. All right, that actually wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I think the first time I made this, I waited to attach these two pieces until after I attached this. Anyway, either way, you should be fine. It just might be a little bit tougher to get in there to attach those tabs, but you can get it done. Okay, next we're gonna be attaching the columns, and these are just gonna slip right in like this. And you can just attach them one at a time by adding some glue to the bottom and top. And these can be a little bit finicky as well. So good luck. All right, we're almost done with the structural elements of this design, and the next thing we're gonna do is the stairs. So these pieces look a little crazy and intimidating, but yeah, it's okay, don't be worried. We're just gonna start by folding this guy accordion style. All right, so maybe you can see now how the stairs are gonna take shape. The next thing we're gonna do is just fold the little tabs on each of these pieces. And now you're just going to start attaching the little tabs to the inside of your stairs until you have an entire staircase. Just do the same thing on both sides. And there you go, there's your staircase. And now you can attach it right here. You're just gonna line it up just with, so that the stairs start just underneath the door. All right, this next step is, well, not the easiest. Sorry, I feel like I've said that a couple times now in this video. But you're basically just going to try to shimmy this piece into the front, and it's gonna be kind of a tight squeeze, but the end goal is that this fits in here and that these tabs are gonna glue to the inside of these walls. So yeah, let's commence the struggle. The town hall structure is basically done. So I'm gonna set that aside for a second, and we're gonna focus on our base piece. All right, so we really are on the home stretch now. You know what to do. All right, with all of your edges folded inward, let's attach these tabs. So this is obviously going to be your main connector piece to stabilize the rest of this design. And so you can kind of see, use the little slits in the design to guide you on how you're going to fit this in. So these little squares in the front are going to show you that this is the front because that's where these guys are going to go. And then the marks that just follow a straight line across the back are going to be in the back. All right, it's always really satisfying when all of those things line up. But there you have it. Now I need to glue all these down, which is gonna take a hot minute. So we're gonna use the magic of the movies. You skip that part. The town hall is done, pretty much. Structurally, it's all finished, yay! But Mandee, why are there still like a million little pieces left? What's up with that if it's finished? Okay, so it's not like finished, but it is finished. And what I mean by that is that it's done. You could just call it done from here if you want. Or you can add Christmas decorations to make this like a really festive town hall, you know? And so that's why we've got these little like plants and some little pots for them to sit in. I did these ones just in a different color, but yeah, that's what these are. We've got little light posts and lights, which are hard to pick up, but there it is. Yeah, and so you can just decorate it however you want. You can use this as a guide to kind of put these around. And we also have like snow drifts that can fit on the roof, around the base, to make this all snowy and cute, because look how adorable that is. It looks much more Christmassy than just this. So for the last step, decorate it how you want, and then you will have this. Voila! You did it! You completed one of my most challenging projects in my Christmas Village set. I'll do my best to make this year's designs a little simpler. Maybe. Thanks for watching this video and for crafting along with me. I hope you had fun creating this festive paper craft project. Don't forget, I always love to see your finished results, so be sure to share them with me on Instagram, tagging @DesignsByMissM. And special thanks to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed this paper craft, please consider becoming a supporter. Not only will you help keep the designs coming, but you can also have a chance to help pick new designs in the future. As a patron, you can even get awesome exclusive content like postcards and enamel pins in the mail. Thanks again for watching, and happy crafting!